We've reached week 17, but it's no longer the final week of the season. Facing off for the 4th straight year, the Bears are looking for their 3rd win in a row against the Giants, and it's headed your way next.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Entering play call screen. Kickoff middle. Kickoff left.
Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are entering auto flip on pop-up. The turn off auto flip. Keep using auto flip. Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Jones. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Jeremiah Tauchu. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing Jones. And that throw behind his man.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Jones. That's complete. It's Corey Clement. A gain of 4, not enough. And it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
On 4th down. On is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away.
R2 button.
Dances by him. Able to fight
R2
through
button.
the tackle. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Bears take over.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. HB Ledive selected. Slot fade.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Triangle button.
Throw.
Cross button.
He'll get this underneath to Montgomery.
Cross button.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another great throw there, and we talked about him when he broke the single-season record. But that last completion, CD, that puts him over 6,000 yards passing on the season. Just unheard of.
Brandon, there was a time not long ago when 3,000 yards was the gold standard for quarterbacks. He's doubled that.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. Hash return.
If you throw for 3,000 yards...
On plan, there are 9 categories. Throw it keep is selected. Throw it keep, pa X cross.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Cross button.
Fake the handoff, now field.
R1 button. Square button. Cross button.
By Lamb. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Entering play call. On plan. Player. There are 9. David Montgomery. Mesh. 24 zone open.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10. Down at the 31.
Cross button.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Keep playing
Entering play. Zone thick jet. Zone weak. Mesh. 24 zone open.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A give. This is Montgomery. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches are in that great coaching box in the sky would take...
Entering play call. Zone thick jet.
So
24 zone open.
way they would take
They
that
would
kind of
take it.
production.
56, the mark, boys, 56. Check 56. Go, go, go.
Back to Montgomery.
R2 button.
Down. Stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't open.
Entering play call. David Montgomery. You have 66 up. Player. There are formations. There are not. Concept. Screen. Play action.
Find a way.
Osprey cage. Parallel LT.
The magic number. 20 points scored. Give yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Triangle button. Cross button.
The throw finding its target, the tight end Horsted. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Let's just make this one simple.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. On plan. There are 9. Player. There are 9. Chidi Lamb. David Montgomery.
Through your
Mesh.
accounting on each
24 zone open.
who's got who, what defense you're in, that was totally a blown coverage.
Running for it, Montgomery.
R2 button.
Taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Entering zone fake jet. Player, Cheedy Lamb, David Montgomery, David, zone fake jet. 24s, MTN AHB, MTN counter STR. MTN AHB plunge.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Check Mike.
Cross button.
With a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout call. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside.
Entering play call, zone fake jet. 24s, pass print HB flat.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
You're not ready. Mike 56. Mike 56. Check out.
On the ground, it's Montgomery.
button.
Nice little juke. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Entering play call. Player, there are formation, special, Hail Mary, gold, gun, weak, I form, single back, concept, keep pass, medium, quick pass, option, run, screen pass, bubble screen. There are 3 categories. You have 8 options. RPO red bubble is selected. Cross button. Cross button.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Entering play. RPO red bubble. RPO red bubble. RPO bubble. RPO bubble white pop. Concept run. Screen pass. Bubble screen. There are 3 categories. You have 8 options. RPO red bubble is selected.
For 1st and goal.
Mike by 4. Mike by 4. Mike by 4. Dig.
Circle button. Circle button.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Danny Shelton muscles his way in for the sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback.
Entering play. RPO red bubble. Concept. There are play type. There are 9 categories. Option. Run. Option is set. Option is set. Coach plan. Player. There are formation. Concept. There are play action. Keep pass.
Play clock down to 5, and they're going to burn a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Entering RPO red. RPO red. Concept. Play action. Keep pass. Play action. Padu. Pass print tape. ROL LT.
Mike 56. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Another try after the first down.
Triangle button.
Fields.
Triangle button.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch.
Entering play call. There are 2 categories. You have 7 options. ROL LT is select. Concept. Screen pass. Run. In AHP inside zone.
That's right, baby. They don't
Cross button.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Head rush.
And off
R2
comes
button.
and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long 4th and goal.
This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it. But here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it.
Entering play call. Coach suggest on plan. Player. There are formation. Concept. Screen. Play action. Do. Osprint HD. Taro LT.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They snap it to Fields.
Triangle button. R2 button.
He finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. Cole Kmet with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass his young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 15 options. Add again to selected.
Now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result?
Entering play call. Special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
So, Charles, here we are, Week 17. Both of these teams.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
But as we all know, Little Strange, still one more game to go next week.
Yeah, Brandon, I think we're both interested to see how things play out next week, because we know their division titles and wild card spots up for grabs, so those teams, no doubt, they'll be all in. But how would you like to go in front of a team that's 3-13 and say, okay, guys, one more time, let's go get them. If we win, it benefits someone else.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men.
Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And look, you're down 7-0 in the first quarter. You know it's not a time to panic or feel like you've got to get those points back right away. But how about their conviction and taking that chance to throw the ball deep right there, knowing they can hit on plays like this?
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Standing at even 65 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Akeem Hicks in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
I know there'd be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
Another try after the first down sack. Jones. That's complete to Slayton.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
I like the throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. Now they set up the screen for Clement. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal.
Gano's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
Every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either
not
way.
the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC.
And they have secured that spot in the playoffs, clinching the NFC North Division, in fact. So for the moment...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. White rail. Red option.
The fact that only one team now.
On plan, there are 9 player. There are G.D. Lamb, David Montgomery, Dave Mesh,
Celebrate that.
AHB stretch.
They are guaranteed a home game. That's a good way to start the playoffs.
56 Mike. 56 Mike.
R1 button.
First down.
Cross button.
Fields.
Square button.
That one
Cross
complete
button.
instead. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion or would have picked it off. Okay, so
Entering play call, David Montgomery. You have 66 options. Zone read is selected.
stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Zone fake jet. 24 zone open.
A good gain on first. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Cross button.
They run. Montgomery. And Shannon.
R1 button.
40.
46 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
For a lot of people, the MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue.
Entering plate. Zone fake jet. Pass sprint HB flat.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Just like that. Just like that. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. Right there. 56. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day on this.
Cross button.
On the carry, it's
R2 button.
broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision.
Entering play call, David Montgomery. You have 6 player. There are CeeDee Lamb, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert. FD dive, thick punt off, FD dive.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Let's go defense. Who we got? Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4.
Cross button.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out that heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
Entering play call, thick punt sweep, pocket slide, FD dive, thick punt FD, pocket slide, thick punt sweep, thick punt off tap, FD dive.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Mike 56, Mike 56.
And again,
R1 button.
the tailback. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, this defense for the Giants, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
In today's NFL, when you talk about goals for defenses, and you think that maybe you'd like to hold them under 14 points or so, we think our offense can usually get 17.
Entering play call, player, there are 9, Calvin Ridley, David Montgomery, CeeDee Lamb, David Montgomery, Mesh, 24 zone open.
Who to blame?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Montgomery.
R2 button.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up.
Entering play call, David Montgomery. You have 6, zone thick jet,
To get your name.
PHP stretch.
You do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
Cross button.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery.
R2 button.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
66 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him.
Entering play call, player, there are Calvin Rid, Khalil Herbert, FD dive, thick punt off tap, FD dive.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Cross button.
And he'll give it here.
R2 button.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down.
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert. Player, there are 9, formation, there are 1,
And he got off the end
I
there.
form, single back, special team, Hail Mary, coach suggestion, gun plan, player, formation, concept, keep, quick, option, run, screen, play action, pass sprint, parallel LT.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
56 is Mike. 56 is Mike. Watch screen.
Now it's Fields off the boot.
Triangle button, R2 button,
Swung out to Montgomery.
And he'll get him inside the 15.
Entering play call. There are two.
But they'll be left.
Concept. Screen pass.
And we see another
Play action. Keep pass. Medium pass. Quick pass. Option. Coach suggest. Recent plays. Favorites. Recent. Coach suggest. Unplanned. Player. There. Calvin Reid. Khalil Herbert. Cole Kmet. Darnell Mooney. Justin Chidi Lamb. David Mont. Zone 24 zone open.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the
Enter
Bears
zone
in
fake jet.
possession
Zone weak.
as they
Mesh.
begin with a third down.
24 zone open.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Now a
R1 button.
Montgomery.
Cross button.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. This offense, number one in the NFL in picking up first downs, and the run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because you keep picking up first downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
Entering play call. Zone fake jet. Zone weak. Player. There are Chidi Lamb. David Mont. Calvin Ridley. Khalil Herbert. FP dive.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for first and goal.
You remember me? Let's go, baby. Mike 54. Mike 54.
Herbert.
R2 button.
The end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Even to him, he's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they run heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. We have 15 options. Bad attempt is selected.
Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left, and no good.
Entering play call. Special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is...
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Six yards left on 2nd down.
From the gun, it's Clement. Calling a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's Jones from the gun on third down. And that is in.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
But they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air.
R1 button.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many
Entering play call. Double slants.
cents
AHD power.
in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery.
R2 button.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run.
Entering play call. Coach suggestion. Double go.
There by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front.
Triangle button.
If they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Back to Montgomery on second down.
Cross button.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them.
Entering play call. Middle high low. 0-1 trap. Double slants. AHD draw.
11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Square button.
First down.
Square button. Cross button.
And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
And he's
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options with pitches selected. White rail.
And that changes things a little bit.
Unplanned. There are player. There are 9 formation. There are concept. There are formation.
Again,
Weak.
zone, you're just looking for that open
Concept.
that
Keep
dead
pass.
area.
Media.
You make
Quick
a
pass.
little
Option.
better
Run.
just to get to that
Screen.
point.
Play action. Do. There. Do. Crossbring HD. Parallel LT.
from the 34 now. Here's 1st and 10.
Cross button.
It's Fields.
Triangle button.
That's
Cross button.
Montgomery. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down.
Entering play call. Do.
Defensively, they came
Alright.
into the game, they understand they have to
Concept.
slow
Screen
down
pass.
passes just like
Option is set. Option. Run.
receiving a weak
Option. Run.
You know they want to get
In
involved
zone
here
pick
as
jet.
well.
Zone weak. AHP inside zone.
3 yards remain for second down.
56, the mark, boys. 56. Shot 56. Blue down, blue down.
Montgomery.
R2 button.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Entering play call. Inside zone. There are 11 categories. Concept. There. Option.
Kind of action in the
Coach
second.
suggestion. Unplanned. There are player. There are Calvin Ridley. Callow Herbert. FB dive.
On first,
R1 button.
Herbert. A strong broken tackle on that one.
Entering play call. Cal. Defense lead. Player. There are 9. Calvin Ridley.
Second and
Broken net.
That's a
Cornell Mooney. Justin P. GD Lamp. David Montgomery. Zone pick jet. 24 zone open.
Second down at 4.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
R1 button.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Enter zone fig jet zone weak mesh 24 pass print H 24 zone open. Cross cutting.
They'll run with
Cross cutting.
And they get him down at the 1. He had the ball.
Entering play call. Zone fig jet. AHD stretch.
And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Hey, hey, hey.
Montgomery.
Button button.
And touchdown Bears. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind-melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. On plan. Player. Error. Formation. Concept. Screen. Play action. Pass print H. ROLT.
Now the Bears keeping the offense on the field and going for 2. They'll look to throw.
Cross button. R2 button.
So they try for 2, successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius.
Entering play call. Special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
A little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum.
Jones now throwing on first down. Catch made by Slayton. And he's upended at the 30.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On second down, Clement. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
With a 3rd and 2.
Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and break it and knock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
They'll try and run here with Clement. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were two things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Jones. And the timing a bit off.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
These are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Jones. Forced out to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks, what a season he continues to have, his 15th sack of the campaign.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
To fix it.
And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
R2 button.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why?
Entering play call, zone fix jet, 24 zone open.
All that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they
one button.
Here. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Entering play call, do, there, do.
And it's difficult for him.
HB flat.
You've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Fields.
Triangle button.
Caught by Montgomery.
RT button.
He takes us beyond the 35 before going out.
Entering play call,
Look at that penalty back.
concept, screen pass. Option is set. Option is play action pass, keep pass, medium, quick pass, option, run.
Part of the game plan.
AHP inside zone.
Watch the run, watch the run. Mike 56, Mike 56. And let's pin him here.
On second down.
RT button.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Entering plate, AHP inside zone.
First down, they run
RT button.
Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple.
Entering play call, inside zone. There are AHP inside zone.
There was
Concept, option,
It's a defensive front.
run,
They
screen pass, play action, keep pass, medium pass, keep pass,
held their spot and stacked it.
verticals.
8 yards to go on second down.
Square button.
Fields.
R1 button. R1 button.
And he finds
RT button.
complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Last week, several good performances in the NFC, but he was the conference's offensive player of the week, well over 100 yards.
And just the ability to make catches. You know, that gets underplayed sometimes.
Entering play call, verticals.
Run and
Concept,
catch
play
the
action pass, keep pass, medium, quick pass, option, run. Zone thick jet. Zone weak.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Cross button.
And to give this time,
RT button.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
that's a really nice, tough run inside.
Entering play call, inside, concept, their option.
Don't expect to get 5
Play
yards.
type, there are 9 tabs, personnel, favorites, recent play, coach suggestion, on plan, there, player, there, Calvin Reed, Khalil Herbert, FB dive.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
56 Mike. 56 Mike.
And he'll give it
RT
here
button.
back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert, you have 5 option, FB dive.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
56 Mike. 56 right there, 56.
Now a
R2
handoff
button.
to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about...
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert, who had 6 months week.
Win-win, but if you're
Hubbard slide, player, error, Calvin Ridley, David Montgomery, Dave Nash,
in front,
24 zone open.
stand on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
56 the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. That QB's trash. Let's go. Mike 56. Mike 56. Quit talking about it and bring it.
On second down.
R2 button.
Montgomery stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Entering play call, David Montgomery, who had 66 options. Zone week is selected.
Action.
Entering play, zone fig jet. Player, error, CeeDee Lamb, David Montgomery, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, FD dive.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On third down.
Cross button.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Each team has its own terminology. Some people call it jumbo, some call it monster, some call it king. But it doesn't really matter. They brought in the big lumber to pick up that first down.
Yeah, you think about goal line defense with the goal line offense that time getting it done.
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert, player, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Justin Field, CeeDee Lamb, David Montgomery, zone fig jet, 24 zone open.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Cross button.
And again,
R1 button.
tailback. He will push his way down to about the 14.
Entering play call, David player, error, formation, concept, error, play type, error, personnel, error 9, play type, error 9, concept, screen, play action, key, play action, postprintate, parallel key.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
Here's Fields.
Triangle button.
He finds his man.
R2 button.
It's Montgomery. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Now the Bears will use their third.
Entering play call, blue. There are 2 categories. Blue hit,
Seconds to go in the first.
Postprint HB flat. Option is set to un. Option is set. Parallel. Postprint HB flat.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Here's Fields.
Circle button.
Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. Cole Kmet, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Bears are able to add on to their first half lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 15 options. That attempt is selected.
Santos with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it culminates in a touchdown.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
He's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Jones on first down. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories. Fun plan, there formation, concept, there play type. There are 7 concept. Zone blitz, cover 2. Cover 2. There are 9 categories. You have 22 options. Tampa 2 is selected.
10. Looking to throw. Jones. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first kick.
Entering play call, cover 2. There are 9 categories. You have 22 options. Tampa 2 is selected.
Seconds to go in the first half of play. Now Jones on first and 10. Open man right side is Ingram. And he'll go down inside.
Entering play call, cover 2. There are 9 categories. You have 22 options. Tampa 2 is selected.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears.
Entering play call, cover 2. There are 9 categories. You have 22 options. Tampa 2 is selected.
18 seconds to go in half number 1. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's complete to Shepard. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Sterling Shepard. As the first half is winding down. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is, if they take the ball down to start the second half and score...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And this is up and good. It cuts the lead to 28-10 now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken at the goal line.
R2 cutting.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 30 options. HB blunt dive is selected. AHB stretch.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And they'll indeed start on the
triangle button.
clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained. As
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 6 options. Power is selected.
Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll kick things off with an NFC East battle between 2 old foes, Philadelphia and Washington. And in the second quarter, it is the Eagles who are out in front. Jalen Reagor, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to MetLife Stadium to check on the Jets. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Antonio Brown, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check in on the Saints at home at the Caesars Superdome. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold has a couple of touchdown passes. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Giants. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Bears, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Entering Gunplan adjustments screen, run inside is selected. Run outside, run inside.
In the second half. And for the call, let's go back to Soldier Field.
Defend medium pass. Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Return left is selected.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is Jakeem Grant.
Cross cutting.
Opens here. He's past the 30.
Come on now, let's go.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Entering play call, Gunplan. There are 9 categories. Run inside, MTN AHP plunge, MTN counter STR,
Coaches up in the box.
AHP zone WK.
If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Third quarter starting.
Cross cutting.
Montgomery. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move.
Entering play call, run inside. You have 71 up. MTN AHP zone split WK.
That's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Back to Montgomery. Second down. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Well, praise has to go to the guys in the offensive line because they've had a very nice production.
Entering play call, run inside. You have Gunplan. There are 9 categories. Player, there are 9. Calvin, Khalil Herbert, Cole Kmet, Khalil Herbert, FD dive.
On third down.
Button.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert. You have player, there are formation, there are 9, concept, option, run, in zone thick jet, zone weak. Cross cutting. R1 button.
Here's the run with Montgomery. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Entering play call, AHP inside zone.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
Mike 54. Mike 54. It's just me and you.
They'll keep pounding here with
R2 button.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Entering play call, inside zone. There are 11. Concept, there are 9. Play type, there are 9 categories. Personnel, there are favorites. There are recent play, coach suggestions, gun plan, player, there are formation, concept, screen, play action, percentage, parallel LT.
In your face. Mike 56. Mike 56.
Throwing on 3rd down.
Triangle button. Triangle button. Triangle button.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Entering play call, Padu. Concept, screen pass. Formation, there are player, there are 9. Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert. FD dive.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10, right at the 40.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Cross button.
And he'll give it here to his running
R2
back.
button.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4.
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert. You have had player, there are Calvin Ridley. Khalil Herbert, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Justin Field, Cheedy Lamb, David Montgomery, AHD stretch, mesh.
Shut it down.
24 zone open.
That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's an 8 shot. 56 the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. I got you. I got you.
Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's going to get this pretty close to the 1st down marker at the Giants.
Entering play call, David Montgomery. You have 6. Player, there are Cheedy Lamb, David Montgomery, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert. Option is set. Option is set to coach spacing. AHD puppy slide. AHD quick base. Smash return. Power O. Stick. AHD stretch.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
R1 button.
The gun.
Triangle button. R2 button.
And Lamb, it's complete. And he will have the Bears first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Entering play call, coach suggestion, gun plan, there are player, there are 9. Cheedy Lamb, David Munt, Calvin Rid, Khalil Herbert. FD dive.
56. You track. 56. Mike 56. Right there. 56. Ricky.
Cross button.
They'll run on first
R2 button.
Herbert. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 4.
Entering play call, Cal, thick punt sweep. Player, there are Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Justin Field, Cheedy Lamb, David Montgomery, zone thick check. 24 zone open.
That trend would change now. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go. Do you tighten up? Let's go. Do you tighten up? Mike
A give.
Cross-cutting.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offense.
Entering play call. Zone kick check. AHD stretch.
While that wasn't a huge one, that's okay.
MTN counter STR. AHD stretch.
With a heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3.
Minus 56. Minus 56. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Cross-cutting.
Down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining. As
Entering play call. Zone kick check.
Quarter.
24 zone open.
56 the money, boys. 56.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Entering player, there, CeeDee Lamb, David Montgomery, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, FB Dive.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
You got 3 down. 56 the money. 56 is the money. It's got to be a long...
Now a handoff here.
Cross-cutting.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well done to sniff that out defensively.
Entering play call.
Pretty quick.
Player, there are Calvin Ridley,
Diagnosed as
Khalil Herbert,
red is
Cole
key.
Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Justin Field, CeeDee Lamb, David Montgomery, Dave Mesh, AHD stretch, Sprint HB flat, MTN counter STR, AHD zone WK.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Cross button,
Handoff comes to
RT button.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11.
Entering play call, David Munt, zone kick check, AHD stretch,
That's not a run that's
MTN AHD plunge, MTN counter STR, AHD zone WK, Sprint HB, AHD stretch, Sprint AHD, MTN, Sprint HB, AHD stretch, 24 zone open.
Check 56. It's been a long game for you. Mike 56. Mike 56.
Cross button,
They'll keep it on the ground.
RT button.
Montgomery. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Entering play call, Coach Sigjet, gun plan, there are, Coach Sigjet, gun plan, player, there, CeeDee Lamb, David David Montgomery, Mesh, zone weak, AHD, inside, AHD, outside, AHD, power O, AHD, inside zone, Mesh, inside zone.
This offense 2 for 2 converting on these thus far, so why not try again here on 4th down?
Cross button,
Montgomery, they'll run for it.
cross button,
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Bears take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
So a big decision there to go on 4th down. Gets him not only to first, but gets him the touchdown as well.
And Brandon, you and I know that all these coaches tell us if every play is executed the way it's designed, it goes for a touchdown. But let's be honest, they were shooting for the first.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 15 options. That attempt is selected.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
I use Fortnite.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not
that
mistaken,
does,
correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last pull.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now Jones. This one is Slayton over the middle. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Well, into a sea of defenders had intercepted.
Back to Sean Gibson, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
Entering play call, coach suggestions, punt plan, player, G.D. Lamb, David Hunt, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, FP dive.
And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage and big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. And nothing much.
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert. You have player, Cole Kmet, Cornell Mooney, Justin Fields, G.D. Lamb, David Montgomery, Dave Nash.
And you know that's
inside zone
because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Cross button.
On second down now. It's Montgomery.
Cross button.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his...
Entering play call, David Montgomery. Player, error, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, FD dive.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
And again,
Cross button.
Tailback. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
That play wasn't...
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert, kick punt sweep, combo slide, FD dive.
Good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Cross button.
Another carry
R2 button.
on second down.
And the stop will come inside the 5.
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert, kick punt sweep, combo slide, FD dive.
And add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on first.
R2 button.
A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just...
Entering play call, kick punt sweep, combo slide, FD dive.
Set up 2nd and goal.
Touchdown, defense.
Cross button.
And he'll give
Cross
him
button.
back. And he gets halfway home from the 4.
Entering play call, Khalil, kick punt sweep, combo slide, FD dive.
Play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
54 is mark, 54 is mark. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Cover.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now at Soldier Field.
Entering play, kick punt sweep, combo slide, FD dive.
Guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Mark 54. Mark 54. Watch the strike.
Herbert.
R2 button.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it, and I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to...
Entering play call, coach kick XGY shovel. Gun plan, there are 9 player, there, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Justin Chidi Lamb, David Montgomery, Zone Fick Jet, 24 zone open.
Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now, 4th and goal from the 2.
Cross button.
Running for it, Montgomery.
button.
And he's not going to get in. They stop him at the 1. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And this Giants defense able to come up with a goal line stand.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 3 actions. Return left is selected.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. So
Entering play call, David Montgomery. You have 66 option. Zone fig jet. 24 zone open.
the Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now a run with Montgomery. Avoid him at the 40. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own.
Entering play call, David Montgomery. You have 66 options. Zone read is selected.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Cross button.
To throw.
R1 button.
Open man is
button.
the tight end. 7 yards the pickup there.
Entering play call, David Player, Carolina, CeeDee Lamb, David Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, FD dive.
Gain nonetheless.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Cross button.
Now a handoff
button.
Running back. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practice.
Entering play call, the punt sweep. Player, Eric, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Justin Field, CeeDee Lamb, David Montgomery, David Mesh.
Right now,
24 zone open.
To the challenge.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Cross button.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery.
Cross button. R2 button.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because
Entering play call, player, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, FD dive.
And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Here we go.
Cross button.
On first down.
Two button.
And he'll take this down for about 4 yards.
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert. You have 5 options. Hot player, barrier, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Justin Field, G.D. Lamb, David Montgomery, Zone Thick Jet, Zone Weak, Mesh, AHB Stretch,
or you can decide to throw
Sprint HB Flat, AHB Stretch.
back on its heels.
Now a second down and 6.
Cross button,
Throw is
R1 button, square button,
He's got a
R2
man
button,
tight end. That's complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
entering play call, David, player, barrier, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert,
There used to be occasional
FU dive,
throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
They'll try and run for
R2 button,
first and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of
entering play call, Khalil Herbert, thick punt sweep, boot slide, FB dive,
You will too.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
56, 56. Go.
cross button,
Another carry
R2
for
button,
second down.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground.
entering play call, thick punt sweep, boot slide, FB dive,
And if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
cross button,
On
R2
third,
button,
Herbert. And this time he is in. Khalil Herbert with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears stretch this 4th quarter lead even further, and they are closing in on win number 12 of the season.
Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction.
entering play call, coach suggestions, there are 9 categories, you have 15 options, add bench is selected.
Now the point after try for Santos. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 9-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown.
Entering play call, special teams, you have 6 options, kickoff left is selected.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now here comes Daniel Jones and the Giants again.
What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
About there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And this is picked up by the... And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 9 categories. You have 15 options. That attempt is selected.
Oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good.
Entering play call, special teams. You have 6 options. Kickoff left is selected.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
From just inside the 20, a short kick. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The possession switching back to the New York Giants. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Now here in this 4th quarter.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he goes out right around the...
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They try to throw on 2nd down.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
They're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Now they set up the screen for Clement. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
Entering play call, coach suggests 8 up safe man.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spiral.
Entering play call, spacing, AHP dive, slants, AHP dive.
They'll start
Cross button.
Montgomery. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1 yard.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 9 one plan. There are 9 player. There are 9 categories. Formation. There are concept. Deep pass. Medium pass. Quick pass. Option. Run. Screen. Play action. Do. Pass sprintage. ROLT.
To cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From his goal line here.
Triangle button. R2 button.
Swung out to Montgomery. 2 yards on the pick.
Entering play call. Do. There are 2 categories. You have 7 up. Do.
There for the offense.
Concept. There. Screen pass.
And sometimes it
Play
gets
action. Screen. Run. Option. Quick pass. Medium. Deep pass. Verticals.
and holding him to a
4 verticals.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down.
Circle button.
Fields.
Circle button. R1 button.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Entering play call. Special teams. You have 3 options. Punt left is selected.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. On the return is Pettis.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And New York set to take the field.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a...
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Much to handle on the other side in this one.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
We got 3, brother.
Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
Twice the protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Jones. That's caught by Galladay. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories. Safety strung free.
The Giants up down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Looking for Shepard deep. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Giants get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond.
Entering play call. Coach suggestions. There are 7 categories.
They decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that one, and even 60 yards in the air. Wow.
Gano for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive there.
Entering play call, special teams, you have 6 options. Return left is selected.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
R2 button.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts now to return it.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the fourth.
Entering play call, verticals. There are 12 verticals. Concept, play action, screen, run, option, run. Inside zone, zone fake jet, zone weak.
You ain't going nowhere. 56 the mark, boys. 56. Check 56. We own them. We own them.
To Montgomery.
Cross button.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. While the training staff works on...
Entering French, call, games, coaching. Pop, medical center is selected. Player name Arquin. Position rolled. Position RG. Player name GI Fady. Injury type shoulder. Injury length TBG. Injury length ready to play. Injury length 1 week. Injury type broken ribs. Position C. Player name C white hair. Entering franchise screen, you have 7 options. Resume is selected. Entering plate AHP inside zone.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Go. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Here we go.
They'll keep it on the ground.
Cross button.
It's Montgomery. And he'll fight forward to about the 20.
Entering play call inside zone. There are AHP inside zone.
To show for
Concept. There are screen pass. Play action pass. Do. Pass print HP. ROLT.
Proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Cross button.
56 right there. 56. So we got man.
Cross button.
Fields off the bootleg.
Triangle button.
That one complete to
Cross
Horst.
button.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They've been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the fourth quarter.
Entering plate, Padu. Pass print HP, concept, screen pass, run. Inside zone fake jet, zone weak.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Mike 56. Mike 56. Here we go.
Now Montgomery.
R1 button.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, He's the guy they turn to, and it doesn't matter what
Entering play concept, there are not play height, pass.
keep picking up good yardage.
Personnel, there are favorites, there are recent play, coach suggest, on plan, there are player, there Cole Kmet, Darnell Moon, Justin, Cheedy Lamb, Justin Fields, Cheedy, David Munt, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, FB Dive.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Cross button.
They'll try and run some
button.
as they keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate.
Entering play call, Khalil Herbert, player, Calvin Ridley, Khalil Herbert, Cole Kmet, Darnell Mooney, Justin Fields, Cheedy Lamb, David Montgomery, David, AHB slip screen.
That's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Check. Mike 56. Mike's 56. Tighten up. Pull together.
On 2nd down.
Cross button.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Entering play call, AHB slip screen. Inside zone.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
Cross button.
On the carry, it's
Cross button.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not good.
Entering play call, David Montgomery, zone fit jet, sprint HB flat, MTN counter STR.
And you wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason.
Entering play call, player, there are formation, there are not concept, screen, play action, do, sprint H, parallel LT.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Fields.
Triangle button.
That's
R2 button.
They get 6. That'll leave them.
Entering play call, do,
Factor in the running game on
concept,
this. Now he gets
keep
involved in
pass,
the passing game.
medium pass, quick pass, option, run.
Version of workhorse.
Inside, zone fit jet, zone split double, KHB blunt dive, zone split double UK.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Mike 56. Mike 56. Rip left.
On the ground.
R2 button.
Montgomery.
R2 button.
Yeah, brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
Entering play call, in concept, screen pass, play action, keep pass. Formation, there, player, there are, Calvin Ritt, Khalil Herbert. FB dive.
56 the Mike, boys. 56. Check 56. Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Cross button.
They'll run on
Cross button.
Herbert, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Entering play call, kick punt sweep, boot slide, FB dive.
2nd down and 7.
56 the Mike. 56 is the Mike.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Cross button.
They'll keep it on the ground. Herbert.
R2 button.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Let's go. Do it.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears,
They solidify their spot in the playoffs as they run their mark to 12-4 on the year.
Post-game report player stats.